All right, today, boys and girls, we are going to use strategies and algorithms to multiply up to a 4-digit number by a 1-digit number. So we're going to start with a strategy, and this one is a box method, and it can sometimes be referred to as an area model, but the area model just always has the rows and columns inside, so it's a little bit similar. So I have 2,345 times 5 is the number that we are going to work with. And I like to think of it in a word problem. If I had $2,345 in 5 different banks, how much money would I have altogether? I always like to think of money. Helps me a lot. So we're going to take the value of each digit, and I have 4 digits, so I have 4 squares for each digit. And the value of the 2 in this number is 2,000. So I'm going to write 2,000 here. And I'm going to add it to the value of this digit 300. And so you might notice right away that I'm doing expanded form of 2,345. The value of the digit of 4 in this number is 40. And I have 5, the value of that digit is 5. And I'm going to multiply that times 5. So I'm going to multiply that right here. And that's why it looks very similar to area, because we know that the area of this box right here would be 5 times 2,000. So I'm going to write that in here so you can see that. That's a big number, and you might think I don't know that in my head, but you do know 5 times 2 is 10. And then we're going to pop our 3 zeros over. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3 and make a comma. And then we're going to write up here 5 times the number 300. And again, that's a big number, so we're just going to break it down to 5 times 3 is 15. And we're going to pop over our 2 zeros like we've learned earlier. And that's 1, 2, 3 and bring a comma. So now we have 5 times 40, and we're going to say 5 times 4 is 20. We've got to be real careful because we already have a 0 here, and we're going to pop over that extra 0, so 5 times 40 is 200. And now the last one is 5 times 5, and that's 25. So now, because we had expanded form and we had our plus signs between each one where we broke it down, we're just going to add up each of our partial products here. And so we're going to add up 10,000, 1,500, 1,500, making sure that we get our place value in line, 200, and 2,500. So in this model, as I add them up, I want to tell you, make sure I've got enough room on the video, that we were looking specifically at the value of each one. Let me give you another trick with the comma. My students like to say cha, 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 comma. We like to turn everything into a little dance or music in our classroom. Okay, so over here we're going to go to the standard algorithm side. And so over here we were looking really specifically at each value over here. We still care about the values, but we're going to just specifically multiply. So we're going to say 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, so if I write 25 here, then I don't have any place to put what I'm multiplying here. So when I say 5 times 5, I need to, just like when you add, you're going to regroup that 2 over the next column. But I'm multiplying, I'm going to add in this next 2. So I'm going to put a plus sign there so that I don't get confused. So now I'm ready to go to this next column, and I'm going to say 5 times 4. I know that's 20, but before I add 20 down here, I'm going to add 22. I can't, again, put 22 here, so I need to regroup the 20 from 22, and I'm going to put the 2 up here. So you may need to regroup each time. Excuse me. Okay, so now we're going to take, again, we're going to start with this 5. And every time, do you see how we went each time? And multiplied, we're saying 5 times 3 is 15. But we're going to add 2 more, and that is going to give us 17. So we know that we are going to regroup 110 and 7 ones. So now we have 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 more is going to give us 11. Now we're not multiplying again, so now I can bring the 11 down, and I'm going to say cha, 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 comma. So we got the same answers. This way, we kind of went from left to right and started with our values here. And when we do standard algorithm of multiplication, we'll always start with our ones place. And we'll multiply by ones, then by tens, then by hundreds, then by thousands, and we'll do it in that order. So this is how you multiply in traditional algorithm for multiplying 4 digits by 1 digits in the box method, similar to the area model for 4 digits by 1 digits.